Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is the insanely popular 2024 Chevy Trax in the Active trim. And is this $27,000 fully loaded crossover the best vehicle you could buy on the market right now? Sort of. Stay tuned. All right, gearheads, this car is not setting the world on fire because of its performance. That is absolutely for sure. This is not a Corvette, but this is selling like Corvettes should be selling right now because this thing is so hard to get. And that's what I meant in the intro when I said, this is the best value, the best car you can get right now if you can find one. In fact, my friends at Pelche Chevrolet here in Tyler, Texas, made special arrangements for me to get into this one while they had it because they are not staying on dealer lots for long. These things are moving, and I have a few theories as to that. No, these aren't winning any awards, and I'll have a whole video about that. The award-winning Chevrolet crossover is the Blazer EV. It won Motor Trend's SUV of the year. But yeah, go check out my separate video on that. What is really awesome about this vehicle is the price range from base to fully loaded. This is a fully loaded active trim. I mean, fully loaded. We've got the sunroof, we've got the Evotex seats, the heated seats, we've got floor mats back in the back, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We've got all the things, and it only costs $27,000. Yes, $27,000 for a fully loaded vehicle in 2024. My 2013 Chevy Cruze, my daily driver, stickered for $20,000 11 years ago. And that was a base model Eco with a manual transmission. This thing is as fully loaded as it gets for the Chevy Trax. And that's saying a lot. There's a lot to like here. So what motivates this thing? In a world that has gone completely goo goo gaga over turbo 4-cylinders, this thing kind of bucks that trend with a turbo 3-cylinder. Yes, only 3 cylinders from this turbocharged engine. It is a 1.2 liter Ecotec turbocharged 3-cylinder, making 137 horsepower and a surprising 162 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, sending all of that power through just the front wheels. Yes, that is part of the secret sauce of how this vehicle only costs $27,000 fully loaded. Chevrolet nixed the all-wheel drive from the previous generation and went only to front-wheel drive. And driving it around, it's fine. It's no Corvette, but it does its job dutifully. The power numbers, yeah, maybe are a little low, and that's to be expected from a turbocharged 3-cylinder, but that 162 pound-feet of torque and a proper actual automatic 6-speed automatic transmission instead of a CVT piece of garbage, sorry, strong feelings, it works well. It doesn't leave me wanting in a vehicle that is really just meant for commuting. Style is absolutely the name of the game here with the 2024 Trax. It is a much improved glow up over the 2022 model it replaces. This thing is an absolute looker all the way from nose to tail. As we take a look across the front here, this is one of the 2 top trims again. This is the active trim, so we get this blacked out grille, a unique look for the front for the active trim. And then we get the LED running lights up here, divorced from the LED headlights down here. It is a clean look that really started with the 2014 Jeep Cherokee. A lot of people gave that car flack for those divorced running lights from headlights, but that is a look that has become more and more popular. Chevy is doing it across their SUV lineup. We see it in the Blazer, the Trailblazer, and this Chevy Trax. It is a very nice, very handsome front end. As we come around to the side here of this cacti green active model, I will note this is a late availability color. This color was not even available at launch. And being that it's the active, much like the front grille, we get blacked out wheels. These are 18-inch wheels wrapped in Goodyear Assurance tires. So yes, no Kumho tires or anything like that. A brand that you may know and recognize, Goodyear Assurance tires. You can see these are 225/55 R18s. So they are a little on the narrow side, but that does help with fuel economy and the like there, especially when you have that turbocharged 3 under the hood. Talking about the style of the side of this, this is really a fastback looking little car. They've stretched it and elongated it over the version it replaces. The 2022 model, I used to refer to it as the gerbil. It was like a little speed bump. This thing looks longer, lower, wider, and sleeker all the way around, and it absolutely works here on this active trim with this cacti green. I really like the contrast of that green and black. As we move around to the back, yes, we get black bow ties back here. We get the Trax and Activ in a chrome on the back of the hatch there. And then no visible exhaust back here. Again, Turbo 3. This isn't a sports car, but it does have a very nice muscular athletic stance back here. This is around the same size as the Trailblazer on the inside, but it just feels so much bigger and longer on the outside. And a lot of that is dedicated back here behind the back seats. As we open up the hatch, it's a manual hatch, which some could complain about. If you want a power hatch, you can get the Buick version of this vehicle, the sister version of this vehicle in the Invista. That one does have a power hatch, but I like just the simplicity of it. Back here we have plenty of storage with some hidden cubbies down here on the side. Nothing over here on this side, but you can see my backpack for reference, just how much room we have. You can see we have top tethers all the way across the back there, a 60/40 split bench rear seat that folds down flat. I'll show you that here in a second. And some additional storage around your temporary spare tire down here. No, there's no foam down here, but yes, you can store some additional items down here and just have more stuff. As far as how wide the hatch opens, I'm 5'10", you can see right here. And then this is the reason I like manual hatches so much. It's just that simple. Those narrow 225 tires are a little on the noisy side here on this textured pavement, but again, it fills its job. It does its role just fine for a vehicle that comfortably fits 5 people. And yeah, let's get into that. Coming to me, you can see, you've been watching me in this video, I've got plenty of headroom. We do have a manual opening sunshade here for our rather properly sized sunroof here, no panoramic roof. All the way around, very nice, very comfortable in here. But let's pop out and talk about that back seat, because I mentioned Chevy kept the cost down with this by keeping it front wheel drive only. That also freed up some other things that you were really gonna like with this vehicle too, as we move to the back seat. You can see the materials back here are a little bit different. No pops of yellow back here, no stitching, no seating material. It is all the hard plastic. But again, as we come around here, look, $26,760, so a $27,000 vehicle all told, and this is very nice. These are not leather seats, they're synthetic, they're Evotex as they call it, but a very nice, we still get a little pop of yellow down here in the seat stitching. But coming in and sitting behind myself, look at this. This is me sitting behind myself at 5'10". Plenty of room. I am very comfortable back here. And another thing that'll make passengers comfortable, flat load floor. Because it is only front wheel drive, there are no options for all wheel drive. We have a completely flat EV-like floor back here, so you don't have to like straddle a tunnel and, you know, man spread back here if you're riding in the middle. You do get a couple power ports back here, a little bit of storage back here. And even me at 5'10", sitting here in the center spot, I'm close, like I'm right there. My hair's touching the roof, but I can sit back here comfortably. It's not someplace I'm gonna want to ride across Texas in, but it is fairly comfortable. As I move over here to the side, you can see I'm a little bit lower and a little bit more reclined. It is more comfortable on the outside seats, but definitely capable of holding 3 people back in here very comfortably. Thanks to the floor. I can't talk this morning. But yes, very nice. No mat pocket here. We do have a mat pocket there. We have a little bit of storage there. No fold down armrest in the center either. But I did talk about 60/40 fold flat rear seats. You can see just how flat it folds right there. So that is a nice touch. And makes for a very comfortable back seat for all parties involved. Not only do we have a digital screen here behind the steering wheel and that large infotainment screen, we still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We get USB-A and USB-C hookups in this, so you can power all your devices. And then when you get out on the road, this is a comfortable car. I feel like with its stretched, lower, longer, wider design, it is very comfortable and rides very well. Sure, those narrow tires are a little on the noisy side. There isn't a lot of sound deadening in this vehicle compared to vehicles that cost twice as much, but it is doing its job as expected. The average new car price on the market right here in 2024 is easily double what this vehicle costs. We are talking nearly $50,000 for the average new car here in 2024. A vehicle that packs all of everything that all the people want. This has got all the things: lane keeping, heated steering wheel, heated seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, very large infotainment screen, fuel efficient, room for 5, at a price tag under $30,000. Chevy has got a real winner here. Taking a look at the key, it is a Chevy's old style proximity key. They're going to that new Corvette style on most of their vehicles, but this one gets the older style. You can see we have lock, unlock, remote start, panic, and you can deploy a physical key from the bottom, but it is a proximity key. You can keep it in your pocket, your purse, on your person, whatever the case may be, because we do have a proximity sensor. You can lock and unlock it from there. But opening up the doors, another thing special about this Activ trim is all the yellow accents. So the yellow accents start here on the door, and then we've got all this kind of gloss black plastic that is textured, so it's going to help with some of the scratches that I normally complain about on gloss black, but it just kind of breaks up the monotony of black here. No express windows, that's okay. See, yeah, you gotta hold it. No express windows, but lock, unlock, no memory seats. Again, this is only $27,000 fully loaded, so that is something to take into consideration. You do have multiple positions here on the seat. The Activ gets a power driver's seat. The co-top trim with this, the 2RS, does not, but it gets sportier 19-inch wheels and a different look. But here you can see multi-power with lumbar, so that is a nice touch. These seats have Activ across the headrest and all these yellow accents that really help break up all the black in here. As we climb inside and take a look, this is why I think these vehicles are absolutely selling just off the charts, and why they are so hard to find is it is a very attractive interior that meets all the requirements of the modern driver. First of all, the design. We've got these cool turbine style air vents right here with the contrast of yellow. Again, if you got the 2RS, you would have red. There's also some blue accents. All very nice. We still get physical controls for our lights. You can see we've got buttons here on our steering wheel. We've got a heated steering wheel, we've got a follow distance indicator, you've got cruise control, all the typical stuff there. You have a fully digital gauge cluster, which I know reduces costs, but is something that is becoming more and more desired by buyers. As we look over here, we have a very large infotainment screen here with, you can see here, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I don't have my phone connected to it. This isn't my car, it isn't a press owner, but does still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And you can see it is a very large screen that has multiple different things that you can page through and check out on this screen. But large, very clear infotainment screen is a very nice touch. I think this is the #1 selling point, that there is still connectivity. You can see we also have a Wi-Fi hotspot. No dual zone climate, just single zone climate. That is okay. And while we were moving down, I did talk about 6-speed automatic here, but as we put it in reverse, you can see we have a fairly nice view from that rear view camera. That the rear view camera is government mandated. No, we don't have 360 cameras on this, but still get a nice view on this large screen, which is very nice. Very interesting materials up here, a little soft to the touch, but you can hear, yeah, but very interesting kind of texture to it, and then more yellow, more black, and more of what we expect from General Motors in the hard black plastic down here. all the way around, it is a very nice, very attractive look. It is definitely something that it doesn't feel cheap in here. It definitely looks upscale. I really like it. More things here. We have our lane keep. We have your auto stop in traffic button right there. We have heated front seats, 3-level heated front seats. So again, a lot of luxuries in this vehicle. In fact, my wife's 2014 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk costs $42,000 when brand new and has less options and amenities on it than this $27,000 vehicle here in 2024. So 10 years later, much cheaper and the same level of amenities. So that is quite impressive. As far as storage, we get a damped glove box right here that is fairly large. Visibility out of this vehicle is good too. They increased all the dimensions over the outgoing model, and I can actually see out of it very nicely. Got a nice view out of my rearview mirror, nothing fancy here. Nice view over my shoulders. I even have that little third window back behind the back door to help me see. All around, very good visibility in this one. It is an absolute shame that this thing is not winning awards because dealers cannot keep them on showroom floors long enough. Again, huge thanks to my friends over at Pelche Chevrolet in Tyler, Texas. If you need a new Chevrolet and you can find a Chevy Trax, absolutely go hit them up. Tell them Corey from GT Garage Talk sent you. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you are notified every time a new video drops. Find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, all the things at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, and my favorite crossover of 2024, perhaps my favorite vehicle on sale today, if you can find one, the 2024 Chevy Trax. Until next time, gearheads, bye.